Alright folks, welcome to another beer review, and today we're going over to Hesket Newmarket out of Cumbria, and this is a bottle of Christmas Presents, which is a spiced porter. So we are a cooperatively owned microbrewery based in the Lake District National Park, established in 1988. Excuse me, we are one of the oldest microbreweries in Cumbria. This traditional porter is brewed with lots of Christmas spices to give a full-bodied warming beer perfect for long winter nights by the fireside. Bursting with festive flavours, it's Christmas in a bottle and it's full of glad tidings. So ingredients are water, malted barley, hops, yeast and spices, which are cloves, cinnamon, anise, and mace. Clocking in at 6.4% ABV. And I think I've had, I can't remember what, it was a smoked beer of some description from these guys. Picked this up from Booths, and I think I also picked that one up from Booths. And yeah, so they've got some of the Christmas festive beers out now. So I thought I'd pick up a couple, because there were like a few of the the gimmicky ones, where it's like Bad Elf and shit like that, and I'm like, I don't really want to, I don't want to drink cheap shit Christmas beers. It's sort of like that company that releases like the Dog Piss IPA or whatever it's called, with really crass artwork, like Santa's baubles and things like that. I hate that sort of crass humour. It's so unbelievably awful. You know, holiday postcard sort of cartoons where if they're depicting an older woman, she's got tits that drag on the floor, and I'm like, I mean, it's not even like me getting offended by it. I'm just like, whoever thought that was funny? Like, who's the person who finds shit like that wonderfully amusing? Do you know what I mean? And if you're one of those people, no judgment here. But yeah, it's just like that whole seaside, slightly adult humour. I'm like, what am I, a fucking... I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm swearing for no reason. So yeah, I think this is like the first Christmas beer that I've done. I should have like saved this video for like the mid to latter part of December, but I'm just going to upload it when I upload it, really. But yeah, Hesket Newmarket. Nice looking beer indeed. I've just done a review of the vintage ale that Ilkley did for Booze, which was absolutely, to quote a famous YouTuber, absolutely spot on, who, funny enough, is in or around Cumbria. So beer in the glass then, and it's sort of got that like roasted chestnut, slightly ruby look to it. Just a lining of a slightly off-white head. Looks pretty much the part in this style of glass. So let's see what we get on the nose. Oof. Well, you're definitely getting that spice blend. There's no escaping that. Oh, do you know what? It almost smells like, you know, you can get like pre-mixed spice mixes for like curries and stuff like that. That's what it sort of smells like. You know, you can get those like jars of pre-made curry sauces, and then they've got the little, in the lid, they've got the powder that you like season the chicken with, or if you use vegetable alternatives, which is, from what I can gather, a lot more prevalent in like Indian curry dishes. But it sort of reminds me of that. It's got a really like savoury yet sweet edge. What is that one? There's like one aspect of it though that's really quite in your face. Now, I'm going to sound like a fucking idiot right now, which it's easy to do. Anise, I'd imagine that's star anise. I thought, oh, is that like a shortening of aniseed? No, you fucking idiot. Yeah, there's like this one predominant character that I just cannot put my finger on. And the more I'm smelling it, it does have like a scented candle, potpourri sort of aroma, which I think is just a lot of the time you can't really overlook that. But it smells interesting. I'm not really getting any of the sort of like the malt character. There's maybe a subtle sweetness. It's almost like a tonka like sweetness that I'm getting. It's a very intriguing aroma, and it does smell somewhat autumnal. I don't know if it smells Christmassy though, but it's interesting. You're definitely getting the cinnamon, and it's without the vanilla and the sweetness. It's instantly making me think of cinnamon stars, which Lidl and Aldi don't seem to sell them anymore. You can have all the Lebkuchen and Stollen up to your eyeballs, but where's the soft, slightly chewy cinnamon stars with a little bit of icing on? That was like when I was living in Germany. That was my favourite thing about Christmas, was the Zimtsterne. I've tried to make them multiple times, but I never get the batter right, and they just become like a gloopy, crisp mess. Gloopy, crisp mess. It's an intriguing aroma. That's what I'm going to say. Very, very acquired. So we'll see what it's like on the actual flavour, which is the most important thing. Cheers, folks. That was very awkward. Nearly twatting myself in the face with my glass then. Ooh. Now, I'm not going to lie, the aroma on this beer is borderline overwhelming. It's as aromatic as you would expect that selection of spices to be. But on the flavour, it's sort of like reined in. Because a lot of these spices and things like that have more of a aromatic quality as opposed to imparting flavour. And that works really, really well in the body of a porter. Of course, with the spices that they've used, you get that drying finish. You get a little bit of a lingering aftertaste. But I'll tell you what, flavour-wise, I'd say you get more of that cinnamon character, which is really nice, by the way. It's sort of like a cinnamon-based but not really sweet cake or biscuit, if that makes any modicum of sense. And it does taste a bit more Christmassy than the aroma leads you to believe. And I think you're always going to run the risk of using those sorts of ingredients when you're brewing beer. And you've got to get that balance perfect, or else you're just going to get an undrinkable like mess of a beer. Either that or really, because you've not put enough in, uninspired and boring beer. And I think they've got that, like, what's the word? I don't want to say compromise, because that's completely the wrong word. The middle ground in this, let's see, can we judge where the centre of the camera is? Is it roughly about there? I don't know. But the middle ground, the balance, absolutely spot on. Even though you've got those flavours in there, you can tell that if they were to just release the porter base, which it may well be, like a standard porter that they brew all year round, and they've just sort of like added those spices there, you really get the sense that they've played around in the conception of this beer. I mean, obviously, this is just what I'm getting. I'm not trying to sort of say, well, this is, well, you can clearly tell that the brewers have done this. I'm not that sort of person. But for me, this gives the impression that they've tried this beer. I mean, you do it anyway as a brewer, I suppose. It's, unless you're producing like a mass-produced, like, conveyor belt sort of beer where everything is like measured and like just press the button, get it done. But again, that's like which I don't intend to. That's like sort of like belittling big brewing operations, which I would never do, because I buy loads of sort of like macro mass-produced beers. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like, if it tastes good to me, then that for me is the most important thing. But you really get a sense that I think you have to, by design, you have to experiment with, oh, well, this batch we put maybe a bit too much clove in and there wasn't enough cinnamon. But then the next batch you're like, well, we'll put more cinnamon in. Oh, we've put too much cinnamon in. But then again, with a brewery like this, who are a collective and a cooperative, sort of like micro brewer based operation, then you're going to be, you've got multiple minds and someone's coming in. But yeah, I think this works really, really well, and it's good beer, and I'm going to end this video. So for a Christmas beer, it works remarkably well. So if you've tried this, the Christmas presents, then let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. If you've tried anything from Hesket Newmarket, let me know. And see you later.